big podium for these guys, but a huge win for you. We talked to you in December just about some of the struggles you've gone through. It's well known how much you've struggled. Tremendous amount of struggle with injuries and some bad luck. And so you talked about changing your attitude. You mentioned on the podium tonight, but you talked about it in December, and now you have proof that you really did, right? You don't know until you race. Can you talk a little bit about that change you made mentally to be here today and take this win?
I mean, not only mentally, but I made a change to my program this year. I started working with Rhino and Charles Dow off the bike, and I mean, I feel like I just made it kind of a point to surround myself with people who, you know, are there to lift me up, basically. You know, I feel like that's just really important in this sport. You can have one good race and be on top of the world, and then you can get you can have a bad one and get so down. So having people around you that keep you on the right track and keep you focused on what you need to be focused on, I think is really important. I've done that this year also. Just, I mean, kind of the mental change was just trying to have more fun riding. Obviously, I mean, anybody knows injuries in any sport, doing anything, you know, it takes, you don't want to do it as much. You start being scared of what you fell in love with, essentially, and that being dirt bikes for me. And to ride a dirt bike scared at this level is you can't do it. So just keeping the whole preseason thing fun. I mean, we did our work. I mean, I think that shows with the whole team and with obviously me and the guys that I train with, but I feel like we did quality work over quantity so much, and we kept it fun and kept me in a good, you know, mental space coming into the season, and yeah, I think it shows.
Wow, show wire to wire, it showed. Well done, congratulations, that was brilliant. Let's go to Andre.
Yeah, Andrea Ruggiero, Moto Now blog. This one's for Daxton. We heard last week from the 250 West guys that you were flying on the test track, you were going really fast, and they had a lot of faith in you coming into this. How true was that for you, and how much confidence did you have coming into your first 250 Supercross?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I get to practice with the best guys on the West, so yeah, I mean, I was definitely going fast to the test track, but that's one thing, you know, racing is a completely different thing, and I didn't know how it would be on Saturday. Like, the nerves were high for sure, and yeah, I knew I just had to keep calm, and we had that replica at the farm, so I just had to, you know, imagine I was at the farm, and, you know, once I got, I think, into fourth, I saw Chance in third, and I just started laying my laps down. Like, I felt really strong at the end, so that was also a thing. I didn't know if I was going to be strong at the end of the moto because I've never raced a full, like, pro moto. So, yeah, I checked that box. I'm really happy with it.
Dan.
Dan Beaver, NBC Sports for Austin. Great start. First of all, welcome back. Great start there. Were you aware of what happened behind you? Obviously, you're a little bit ahead of it. If so, did that occur to you at all while you were riding? And then afterwards, did you get a chance to compare and contrast that first turn last year to the first turn this year?
Yeah, I mean, I heard it going in. Whenever, you know, we started braking, I could hear, you know, tires grinding and bikes clanking, and I knew that there was some sort of a pileup, or else guys just got really sketchy. And then whenever I came around, there were still guys down. I think both of my teammates were still down, and I saw KTM. I think I had to weave. I should have went inside of them. I went like outside of them, and yeah, but like that's why I feel like this win was so special to me, because I was there last year. I was there. I blew my knee out. I was done for the season last year. In, you know, a very similar deal, except it was just me. But so as the same mindset as I had last year. You know, my mindset right after was, you know, that may not have happened if I got a better start. You know, that's still my mindset this year, just it flipped, and hey, I'm glad that I got a good start so that didn't happen. You know, it's just I mean, it's kind of just come full circle as far as that, it just flip-flopped basically. So that's kind of still my kind of thought process, was get a good start so stuff like that doesn't happen, and you saw how that worked for me last year, and how obviously that benefited me tonight.
Scott Yarja, Moto Now blog. Austin, how much of that race was managing the lead versus like riding forward and pushing hard? It seemed like once Max got into second, you maybe put down a few laps and made your lead even bigger.
Yeah, I mean, I knew Max was going to be strong. He threw down some fast laps in practice too. So I knew he was going to be fast. So whenever I think it was Hymas behind me for a while, rookie. You know, I figured that I figured that he would be fast in the beginning, but he would probably either start getting tired and making mistakes or just get tired, period. Like I just, you know, that's typically that is what happens when you're a rookie year. That just is what happens. So I kind of figured I was just kind of putting down my laps in the beginning. The track was fresh, so it was you know, a lot easier to put down laps. I tried to throw down some fast ones in the beginning, where in the heat race with the track, it was pretty tore up. It was kind of sketchy to like, you had to figure out what lines had kickers, what lines were deep, what lines weren't. Where for our main, it was fresh, so you could kind of just go wherever you wanted to. So I kind of took advantage of that and tried to throw down some laps, but not get too, you know, go type of a mentality. Just kind of try to keep it under control, keep it in myself, and then I started to gap him just a little bit, and I saw Max got into second, and I was like, okay, I probably should throw down a couple of heaters now, and just try, or at least just try to maintain what it was, like 4 or 5 second lead or whatever. And I kind of did that, and then the last few laps I kind of just backed it off just a little bit and just kind of tried to manage it. But yeah, I mean, these guys were a great race. They, I mean, I had a 5 second lead I think at one point, but I felt like I was kept pretty honest all night, you know. Unfortunate that a lot of guys went down in that first turn, but you know, I don't think this East Coast 250 class is short on talent. You know, if a couple guys go down in the first turn, there's guys that are going to fill their spot. You know, so I think that, you know, either way, crash or no crash, it was not an easy night, but good night.
Jim Kimball, Motocross Action for Max. Max, I think it's really interesting because you probably came in a little underrated into the season. You're on a privateer team. Were formerly primarily a GP rider without a lot of Supercross experience. You won that Supercross round last year, but talk about finishing second in this opening round and what it means.
Of course, for my boss back in over in Australia. For my crew, you know, there's just myself and Dean Wilson. I'm the only 250 guy. There's, you know, I was counting. There's 4 guys or 5 guys in the workshop. We've got a couple of engine guys, 2 mechanics, and Martin Davalos. That's it. That's my crew over here, and just to be competitive and be up here with these guys. It's a testament to them. Obviously, they. It's very easy for a smaller team to bite off more than they can chew, get more guys, or, you know, spend more money in the wrong places. But the guys make my race bike very good, and I've got to give them that. My bike is very solid, and that's what you want. You know, if there was 2 of me on the team or 3 of me, we wouldn't have enough stuff. So with the budget we have and what we do, they do a fantastic job. And yeah, we raced the World Supercross and Australia. For them, that's massive and a big deal. So to come into here with a second is fantastic. You know, everyone's seen what happened to Austin last year, and to see him do what he did tonight is fantastic. It's round 1. It's a crazy night. Everyone saw what happened on the start, and the track was super grabby and sticky, and like you said, it was kind of nice just to get into a half decent spot on the track and be like, all right. After the heat race, man, J Mart went down in the whoops in front of me, and I just missed him, and I was literally thinking, wow, like that was insane. I just saw him obviously smack his head on the floor. Not ideal. Yeah, hope he's somewhat going to be all right, but yeah, solid night. Nice to do it for my team and be up here mixing out with the factory boys.
Yeah, Jeff Bieber, Whiskey Throttle Media. This question's for Austin. What are some of the things you worked on with Ryan Hughes that helped elevate your game this season?
I mean, I think it just comes down to what's been my Achilles heel, injuries. You know, obviously it's not rocket science to see that. So we kind of started with just what's going to try to make me not necessarily a faster rider, because speed's never really been an issue for me. It's been the longevity, it's been maybe some technique things here and there, it's been things that, it's been making my riding something that, trying to think how to word it, making my technique something that, no, making my speed something that my technique can handle, I guess, is how, like, you know, I've always had speed, but maybe my technique couldn't handle that speed. Maybe my speed overpowered my technique. So all these things that have to be kind of in a good place to be up here, to be, you know, one of the best dirt bike riders, I think maybe my speed or my you know, just drive, just do it, go, maybe outweighed some of the smaller things that maybe I needed to work on to try to bring up and to match that speed. Speed was here, but it was overshadowing a lot of other things, which maybe was the reason why I was getting hurt. So I feel like slowing down and working on some of the, you know, the technique things, it's not like crazy. I mean, you can go to Rhino's Instagram and see kind of what he preaches and what he's about, but doing that and getting hands-on and working on that stuff, combining with Charles in the gym, we kind of all, you know, believe in the same thing and understood the program and what we're trying to accomplish this year as far as working technique in, so that, you know, we can try to be there every round.
Well, congratulations, man.
Kellen Brower.
Thanks, Kellen Brower with RacerX. For you, Austin, you've now had years in the 250 class where you came in as arguably the guy, and you probably should win a lot of races and did, and then you come in off of injuries before as well. So in your own mind, where did you kind of put yourself coming into this year, I guess?
I try to really just focus on myself, and in the heat, in the main, I just tried to, even in qualifying, even on press day, I just tried to do what we've been working on at the test track. That's what was constantly being reminded to me by my mechanic, Tony, the things that we've been working on, the things that we've done this whole off-season, which has been a good off-season, to just do those things. And don't get caught up with, you know, just like at the test track, you know, you got guys some days that are faster than you at the test track. Okay, well, let's not worry about them. I don't need to be the fastest guy at the test track every day. I don't need to be the fastest guy at any track every day. I need to be the fastest in the main event on race night. And sometimes not even the fastest, maybe just the smoothest, maybe the most technically sound on the bike. So we kind of went with that approach, and that I feel like has, you know, was what helped, you know, get the season started like it has tonight.
Cool. Jamie Guida.
Jamie Guida, Vital Limits. Daxton Bennick, you said something on the podium, basically that you had to believe in yourself and confidence that you were capable of running the pace with these guys. After the results tonight, and the results of some of the guys that had bad nights, has your mentality towards the season shifted in one night? Do you believe that, hey, I can be a podium contender every guy now and challenge for this championship? Or maybe you believe that before?
Yeah, I mean, the way I was riding before, I thought maybe I could if the, you know, things went my way. So tonight was cool. I mean, I'm pumped on it, and I feel like it lifted some weight off my shoulders to podium my first Supercross. I'm pretty happy with that. But yeah, I also know that we have 9 rounds, so it's not just about tonight. We got to be there next weekend too. So yeah, we got 3 weeks off, and we'll go back to work and work on some weakness, and yeah, be ready to go next weekend.
Good job, man.
Brad Gebhardt.
Thanks. Brad Gebhardt, Verbo. Let's stick with Dax on this one. Dax, the track got about as rough as it possibly could, even throughout the day. How did your team sort of help you deal with some of that and manage some of that from a bike setup perspective? And also, what did you do about changing your lines throughout the race to adjust to that as well?
Yeah, we changed my bike actually a good bit. We have the same track at the farm, but it's obviously a lot different. This dirt's super like sticky, and yeah, I was having a little trouble with my bike, but I got a really good suspension guy, and we fixed it. And you know, we made a change before the heat race, and it was a lot better. Like, I felt pretty uncomfortable, I would say, in qualifying all day. I couldn't get a good lap in, and then heat race, like flopped for me. I know I switched that around, and yeah, I was really happy with my riding in the heat race and the main event.
Did they have any champagne bottles at the farm for you to practice with, or no?
No, unfortunately not. But you know, now we got one under me, so we gotta work on that.
Good thing you had some friends up there with you. Thanks, bud.
Yeah, we got him sorted. We got him sorted.
Nick Still.
Yeah, thank you. NickStillMotoOnline.com. This will be for Austin. Austin, just going back to what you were talking about a little while ago about the fear. Can you talk about how you control that? And, on race day, you see your teammate go down a Seth Hammaker. Does that make the fear creep back in? Or at the test track, you see one of your riders go down. Does that make it creep back in? Just talk about that.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I think any rider can attest this, that I've had days in the past where somebody goes down and gets hurt, we're done. Like, that kills the vibe of the day real quick whenever somebody goes down and gets hurt. It just puts you kind of in that headspace that you don't want to be in when you're trying to do this at this level. That's true whether it be at the race or in practice. So, but that just goes back to why I've chosen to surround myself with the people that I have surrounded myself with, because you could easily say, oh no, he got hurt, and let that, okay, yeah, we need to, let's call it, let's be safe. Or you can say, hey, let's focus on the things that we've been working on and try to, not even say that let's not do that, let's do these things so that doesn't not even that mindset. Hey, you go back out there and you do what you know how to do. And that's kind of, that is, seeing somebody get hurt at the test track in the race, especially a teammate or whatever, is never ideal for sure. But just having good people around you to keep your mental state in the right direction is definitely important. So that's I feel like it's been on point for me this year.
Is that like a reference to what you said on the podium earlier about stopping these people talking, or is that in reference to you being this age and being able to go out there, perform, and obviously win a championship?
That was just kind of, I was just kind of saying that because, people are always talking, like just the whole comment about, oh, I'm 25 and I'm a veteran, and, I have other people that, aren't in moto that are like, dude, 25, you're so young. But in moto, that's not necessarily the case, that's not necessarily the case. I'm getting paid to ride my dirt bike, and all those people aren't. That's a pretty cool thing, that's a pretty cool thing. So I feel like I was just talking to talk basically when I said that. I don't know.
Great to see you back up here, mate. Thanks.
All right, Brock Bridges.
All right, good job, guys. Daxton, you mentioned earlier, first Supercross, first podium. Based on the research I did from the end of the 450 main to the start of this press conference, I think you're the first guy to do that since 2014, Adam Cianciarulo. It even took the guy sitting next to you 4 races to get on the podium, and the guy sitting 2 down from you maybe a tad bit longer than that. So just a huge, accomplishment there. But I think that you might be the least surprised person sitting up there, as when you're on that blue, that Star Yamaha, that's podium is what's expected of you, I believe. So I think that you're just answering the call, and congratulations. It seems to be like you're the first guy to do that in 10 years.
Yeah, that's really cool. I didn't know that, but yeah, that makes me feel pretty good. But yeah, well, our team wants to win pretty bad, so I'll try to do that. And I feel like going back to the test track thing, I was going fast for sure, but that also comes with a high standard race day. I didn't want to be the guy that goes fast and then sucks on race day. So I think I proved that wrong. So I'm happy with that.
All right, let's go to Jeff.
Jeff Beaver, Whiskey Throttle Media. This question's for Daxton. I asked this question to Brian and Hayden yesterday, and I want to get your take on it. You two both grew up racing 50s together all the way up through your amateur career, and now to be on Star together, how much has that elevated your game, and the two of you being together, do you think that has just skyrocketed your trajectory to where you are sitting right now? How big of a difference do you think that made coming to Star and being with Hayden?
Yeah, it's cool because obviously now too, but when we were on 50s and 65s, I never wanted him to beat me. Like when you beat me, I'd be mad. And I'm sure it was the same for him too. So it's the same day, it's like same as now. So it's cool, and we're obviously really good friends off the track, and I hate to see him go down tonight in the first turn. It sucks for sure, but yeah, we get to battle every day at the test track, so that's fun too.
Awesome, congratulations.
Thank you.
Scott Yarjo, Moto Now blog. Max, can you talk us through the track conditions and how hard it was to race forward, and if you were more content with the second and just clicking off the laps and coming out of here with points?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it was sticky and soft, wasn't it? So a lot of guys were going down everywhere. I mean, like Daxton said, they have this track layout at Star, and I was able to go and ride there a few times with the guys. But it's way more hard pack and yeah, kind of different dirt to this, so it might as well have been a different place. So no, happy with just being solid. I think it's one of those where you've got to recognise when to push and when not to, and today it was very easy to drag a foot peg and, you know, tuck front somewhere or whatever, especially in the whoops and the ruts. So happy with what we were dealt with, and kept it safe and solid on the start. So yeah, happy days.
In your mind, once you got into second, were you like thinking, oh, I gotta catch Austin, or were you like, let's just keep it on two wheels?
No, I was, Hymas was riding well. I wasn't sure who was behind me, and I was like, right, I need to move around him pretty fast. But he was doing a good job of blocking me in the whoops, because I had some speed in the whoops, but every time I went to the left, he'd switch to the left, and I was like, oh, and then I'd switch to the right, and then he'd go to the right. So it took me probably a little longer than what I would have liked to get around Chance, but you know, at the end of the day, he's riding great. I know that bike's really good. It's the HRC bike, and he was pushing a good pace, and I didn't want to do anything silly. I just wasn't sure how much room I had behind me. And like I said, as soon as I got around him, I thought, all right, let's stretch my legs a little bit, but I got caught with a few lappers the wrong way, and honestly, Austin was riding really well. I kind of wanted to go, and then I was like, I'm not going to take the bait and drag a foot peg up some of these rhythm sections, and